Hello, everyone. This is Martin, and welcome to another weekly video update. We're going to be looking at the week of the 18th to the 22nd. That's July 18th to the 22nd. See what kind of trading opportunities lie ahead. And I do want to thank all those followers that haven't gone on holidays yet, that are still here in the Toronto or GTA area, as I am. And thank you very much for following me, emailing me, keeping in contact, and also watching these weekly video updates. So, with that said, now we're going to go to our very first currency pair, and let's take a look. We're looking at the weekly chart of the Euro USD. You can see that right here. Overall, I see price going to be trending lower. My bias is to the sell side, and I'm going to switch to the daily, and you can see something very interesting. Uh, Actually, let's go to the weekly really quickly. Take a look at this trend line, okay? This is a long-term trend line drawn on the weekly chart. So you can see price went up, respected the trend line after several bounces higher, okay, and finally broke through this long-term trend line, indicating that price is now heading lower. And again, on the daily chart, you can see the breakout on the long-term trend line was right here. Price went back up to retest the trend line. It went all the way up to the 21 moving average, which acts as a resistance area. And of course, I've drawn in the gray rectangle, which is the major resistance zone. So price bounced off of that, went back up to retest. A bit of a this high here is a bit lower than the previous high here. You can see to your left. And now take a look when, obviously we've got a valley here, a valley here, okay? And we draw a trend line. This is called a counter trend line, okay? Because price is coming down, price is going back in a counter trend, and we draw a trend line. And guess what? We've we have a beautiful bearish engulfing candle. You see this? It completely engulfs the previous day right over here. This is the Friday close, and not only is it a bearish engulfing candle, which gives you a heads up that price should be coming down further, it also breaks this trend line. Okay, so for those traders who want to take a sell trade, you can take a sell trade below the valley right here. You can see that, and we're looking at somewhere below 110. It could be 109.90 or something like that. 109.95 or something like that. But anyways, or you can take a sell trade right now if you're aggressive. And the other thing is you can wait for a slight pullback. We're talking about pullback higher, and then at least 30% of a pullback, and then looking for a sell trade to the downside. So that's what I see there. Let's go quickly to the Euro USD. Here's the LEOD chart. And again, this is a buy, kind of a sell signal. I just want to show you that price went back up. It broke a trend line here. So this is what's called a LEOD continuation trade, continuing to the downside. Okay. Breaks right here with this candle. We break below the lower yellow line, comes back to retrace, comes back again a second time, and finally breaks below the trend line. That's how you play the LEOD. The histo bars are below the zero level, and let's have a good look. Okay, I've increased the size here. You can see that the blue RSI line is just below the yellow line, which is the sentiment line. So it looks like this is a pretty good signal for sell to the downside. Okay, and and that's what we're looking for on that pair. Okay, our next pair is the British Pound USD weekly. You can see that right here. Overall, we are trending lower. However, what we want to do is wait and have some caution on this pair. As you can see, because the Brexit vote, price went down quite a ways. I mean, on the weekly chart here, in total, it first went up and then down, 1,530 pips or so. So with this massive movement down, you would definitely expect a retracement, which happened all of last week with this white bullish candle. And there's a good possibility that price would still go higher. Let's switch to the daily chart. Here's the daily, and I did actually draw in last week this red rectangle. I said that this would most likely be great for a counter trend trade. It certainly was. You can see here with this red vertical line, this is the close of the previous Friday. So here, the first candle, Sunday, Monday trading. Tuesday was a huge up day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So overall, price actually did retrace up to this red rectangle and went a little bit higher and kept bouncing off the 21 moving average. Again, remember the moving averages act as a resistance in a downtrend, okay, when price is pulling back. The 21 moving average is fairly strong. Price would have to break above or would have to close above the 21 for price to go up to the next moving average or the next area. This is what's called the open space right here. And so we can look forward to that. If price closes above the 21, then we still want to take a buy trade. It's probably pretty good for a counter trend buy. However, my bias is to the south side, and just for the reason, take a look to your left here. This is certainly a consolidation zone. Remember, this is the daily chart, okay? So when I speak about things, upcoming trading opportunities, we're talking about more the longer term movements, not shorter intraday or anything like that. But take a look here. We've got a consolidation. And then again, price seems to be going sideways. So it's the same area right here. And look what we have on the Friday. This is an inside bar. It's a bearish inside bar, and the trading idea is that you can wait for a breakout below the low of the mother bar, which is the bar. See this bar right beside it on the left of the bearish black inside bar. So just below the low there, and you'd be looking at somewhere around 130. 80 or something like that. Breakout below that, and price should continue going down lower. So again, waiting for a breakout to the upside, for a counter trend, or to the downside. But again, I just want to point this out that this is an inside bar, and the idea is to, uh, um, if you're looking to see where price could go next, then you would wait for a break below or take a sell trade below the low of the mother bar, which is the white bullish candle right there. Okay, and also I've drawn in a trend line. Okay, take a quick look. You can see the trend line here. This candle on Friday, this inside bar also seemed to have broken below the trend line, indicating further downward movement. But let's go to the 4-hour chart, okay? And you can see it's just broken slightly below. However, caution, caution, the space between here and here, you see this blue line? That's the 50 moving average. So there isn't that much room to move. And this blue moving average, it's a 50 simple moving average, acts as a very strong support support area. So that's why I said you want to wait for price to close or break below this blue area, and that's why I did mention one, around the 130. Well, in this case, we're looking at, yeah, 129, or I'm sorry, 130.80, 130.80, or even below that, 130.70 if you want to be on the safe side. Okay, so you can also look at this swing low right here. So you want to be below this area, below the blue line to initiate a sell trade, and that's why um, caution, and you just have to wait for that to happen. So I'll switch that back to the daily, and now we get to the LEOD. Again, you can see it's an inside bar. So often the LEOD charts show what's happening fairly clearly as well. Now the next one, the Australian USD. Okay, you can see here, let's go to the weekly. We're in a price has gone up and up and up for how many weeks? One, two, three, four, five, six, 6 weeks. Finally, on the seventh week, rejected by the sellers off the resistance zone as well. Notice price went all the way up to the 100 moving average, which is this blue line right here. And I believe we're in a pullback. Price is going to come back down lower now. And let's go to the daily chart. And you can see on the daily chart, we had also on the Friday a huge bearish engulfing candle off the resistance area. So I kind of think that price is going to come down lower to at least this support zone that I've drawn in the gray rectangle. It could come down even lower to somewhere right around there. Where the 21, here's the 21, here's the 100. So it did break last week with this candle right here. It did break out of this triangle consolidation. You can see that right here. Here's the upper trend line. Here's the lower trend line of the triangle, and it looks like price may be coming back down. So kind of a false breakout. And this is what we want to do too. Now we want to adjust. We want to adjust the trend line so that. Oops, sorry. So now we can draw a new trend line because it's changed. We have a new mountain peak right here, you can see. So we have, if you look to your left, we have the most recent highest peak right here and the recent peak right here. So we can draw a trend line and you can see price could come down lower and then maybe bounce off this area, go higher. But right now, it looks like we're in a pullback. So I would kind of wait on this one. There's not much you can do. I wouldn't really trade this pair. Um, I would just kind of wait, okay, to see further evidence. Okay, again, shows you right here on the LEOD. Now we get to New Zealand. Okay, this one's a little bit more of a pair that you can possibly trade here. Again, last week price went all the way up, bounced off the resistance area that I've indicated in the gray rectangle. It's coming down actually after two strong, solid days, bearish moves, sellers completely in control. And notice that not only was this a strong bearish candle right here on the Friday close, but it also broke a trend line. See the lower trend line right here? And closed below this red 21 EMA, the 21 moving average. Okay, so indicating that price could definitely come down lower. So the open space, where could price go next? Well, we generally look at the next support area. I mean, obviously it could be right there, okay, with this wick low, but if it breaks below that, it's going to go come all the way down to here. This is a confluence zone with the gray support zone as well as the 50 simple moving average. Okay, so most likely price is going to come down lower, but it first could go back to retest. So the idea is you want to wait maybe you want to wait to see if price does come back at least 30 to 50% of this Friday's move, and then look for selling evidence to the downside. But again here, just as a summary, we the Friday's candles close, we did close below a trend line indicating that there is now a shift in direction to the downside, okay? And price looks like it could come down all the way down to this area right here, okay? So really quickly, and here's, okay, here the LEOD shows the selling signal a little bit clearer. There's only a couple of things that bother me. It does, that's why I say you could wait for a bit of a retracement first, then look for selling opportunity, or retracement, and if price starts coming back down, then sell below this candle right here, below the low of that candle. That would be a good idea. Okay, you could also sell below 07080, which is, let's take a quick look. 07080. So that's something you can do right there below 07080. And if your order takes hold, it would most likely come down lower to at least the previous swing low here. Now, the reason I said Um, I'm not that happy about the sell signal on the LEOD chart is because take a look below here. Below the chart, we've got the histobars. They're still quite high above the zero level. Okay, they are coming down, but they're still really high. And I'm going to, okay, take a look at the RSI. The RSI is definitely below the below the yellow line, which is the sentiment line. So sentiment is toward the sell side. However, it still has not come just below the 45 level here. Um, and so, I mean, here we do have um, selling pressure here. The histo bars are still quite a ways above the zero level. So that's why I'm sort of saying maybe not taking a sell trade right now. I mean, it may work, or but you may want to wait for see what happens on the Sunday Monday open, where price may pull back first, then looking for selling evidence, or selling below a like below this area right here. For a breakout below here. Okay, so that's an idea that you can do. Remember, these are trading suggestions based on the longer term time frame charts, the daily and so on. Okay, it's not meant for intraday trading. Okay, now we get to the US CAD weekly. Here we can see prices really, let me just zoom that in because I've got some stuff on the chart there that I did want to highlight. But you can see prices week on the weekly chart, prices come down, up, down, up. Now it's going sideways. The candles are also getting smaller. And look at that. On the weekly chart, we have a bearish candle, a bullish candle, a bearish candle, so it looks like this price is getting ready to do something. US CAD is getting ready to do something, and there's a possibility that this weekly chart possibility that price may break to the upside or price may break to the downside. Okay, so again, it's a wait and see situation. Right now, price is below the 50. You can see that right here and on the weekly chart. So that means we're looking for, we really are looking for selling opportunities. Also, the histo bars, the MACD below the chart, the histo bars are below the zero level as well. Now, let's switch to the daily, and this is where it gets a little bit interesting. This is the longer term trend line right here. You see the longer term, longer term. This defines the overall triangle that I talked about in the weekly chart. However, price with this reversal right here, price is now shifting to the upside again. It looks like price seems to be heading higher again to retest this previous high right here. Previous high and the resistance area that's indicated in the gray rectangle. Now, the other thing, the other reason I may say that is because with this candle, it is an inside bar candle, okay? Make note of that. This is the daily chart, so inside bar. So what you want to do is really break the high, take a trade to see if it breaks the high of the mother bar, which is the next one beside it on the left, and the high of that is right there. So you'd be looking to take a buy trade somewhere above 120. 990 129.90. But if you want to really be safe, I would say 130.10. That would be more of a conservative. So waiting for price to break above the 130.10, which is right about there. Okay, so the reason is because right now price is sort of sitting at an area of all these moving averages. Here's the 50. Here's the 21, here's the 8, and here, take a look at this blue dash line. That's the 100. Everything's come together. So it looks like there's just a, prices kind of rested at a confluence of resistance that is made up of the moving averages. And that's why I say wait for breakout much higher just to see what happens. And that would be about the 130.10, which is right about there. So if it gets to 130.10, right here, then it looks like it's going to go much higher. And again, that would be the next area right here. The other thing is, as time moves on, we want to always adjust our trend line. So you can see here we have a previous swing low, which is the valley here. Now we have a reversal. So I've already drawn in this new trend line. This new trend line takes over from the longer term. We'll keep that on the chart because price may afterwards come right back down to this area here. But now I'm showing you that the power is shifting back to the upside after a downward movement. Buyers have come in with strength. The angle of the trend line is showing that there's momentum to the upside, but I do want to adjust the top trend line. Take a look, guys. It's a bit of a tip. We're now going to move that right there, okay? So if price goes higher, it most likely will come up to at least this area right here. It may not even reach the high of this to test the previous high, but now I've drawn in the new trend line and may just bounce off there and come back down again. Okay, so that's the US CAD Pro. And let's go to the next one, which is US Swiss franc. This one's a bit more of a mess, and I would not trade this. This is we're in a triangle consolidation. Wait, okay. Let me just go to the daily. You can see here price has come down, and I did draw in last week a red rectangle. I mentioned for you to wait for price to come back to this area, but price went up, gained a bit of a false breakout. Here's the daily chart, false breakout, and then right back down again, and now price is closed below the 200. Okay, you can see the 200 right here with the red dash line. So price is below the 200, price is above the 50, kind of no trading area. I would just kind of wait and see what happens. And what we want to do is either wait for price to break much lower and, and, mo and most likely lower than this area. See, this is the major support right here. So I would not do anything until price comes down, comes back up, and then back down again. So in that fashion, and let me just draw something in for you. So what we want to do is wait for price to come down. Then we want to wait for price to be rejected off support back here. And then we want to look for selling pressure to the downside. Okay, that would be an idea right there. Or price may even come down lower beyond the beyond the previous swing low here, come back up to retest and then back down, okay? Or you just want to wait for a breakout to the upside. But this is kind of a mess. I would not trade that at all. Just stay away from that. And finally, the US Japanese yen. Okay, last week we had one, two, basically three, four up days, at least three up days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday with this candle right here. Friday though, we price bounced off, right? Okay, so you can see with this long wick right here, buyers wanted to bring price all the way up. It actually price went up to the 50 SMA and also to this previous resistance area I had drawn in with the gray rectangle, then bounced right back down. So Friday's candle was the bearish candle. I just want to see something on weekly. Yeah, so weekly last week was a good up week, but now we want to take a look at trading opportunities. And I kind of think that price is going to come back down lower. Price here, even though price right now is below the 50. So we really are looking for selling opportunities. And even if price was to break a little bit higher, we're still looking at selling opportunities. I mean, there's enough evidence overall on the long-term charts, and I'll just give you an idea there. We're looking generally for selling evidence to the downside. This pair is generally trending lower, okay? Let me just zoom that in. The histogram bars indicate that the downtrend has weakened significantly. However, we are still below the zero level, okay? And so with this one, we really we're in possibly a counter trend where price has gone up, Uh, and I'm sorry, not counter trend, but we're looking for a continuation to the downside, or if price stays above here and price goes higher, that's something that you have to just wait and see what you're going to do. But um, that's uh, that's where we're at. My bias is to the sell side. Wait for confirmation. Either wait for selling opportunity below here. See right there. Okay, so we're waiting for price for these moving averages to curl back down again. So you could look for selling opportunities at this area right there, okay, or waiting for price to go higher, but I would not take a buy trade. I'd wait to see if price comes up here or to meet up with the 100. Just like here, take a look at the most recent left. You can see price kind of went higher up to the trend line and back down again, okay, to stay below the 50 here. So here, with this pair, we're basically looking at selling opportunities. So you're looking for evidence to the downside. Okay, so that's it for this week's trading opportunities, guys. Oil seems to be trending down as well, and that means there could be still some weakness for the Canadian dollar. But you can always take a look at the oil chart. Let's do that really quickly. Okay, you can see I've oil is actually gone up to the resistance area right here. However, we have to wait and see if oil goes higher, then in the short term the U.S. dollar will be weaker against the Canadian dollar. However, if is rejected and comes back down again, then you can look for buying opportunities with the U.S. CAD. Okay, so take care, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll be more than happy to help you. And also look forward to meeting everyone on July the 25th. The July 25th monthly meeting is definitely on. Okay, so that is now confirmed. I'll be sending out an email to everyone shortly. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.